Okay, so welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Skullcandy barrel. Again, alongside the Skullcandy Stomp, this came out a couple of weeks ago now, so very new offering from Skullcandy. I have reviewed a couple of their speakers before, well, all of them actually, those terrain speakers, which were obviously aimed at the budget market, pretty average, but yeah, these are in a different ballpark. So this retails for £230 here in the UK at the moment. Not a bad price, you know, bearing in mind this is obviously a JBL Boombox kind of alternative, or the Sony SRS 500 or whatever they call it. And this is, well, to be honest, under half the price, or around about half the price of those. So we're looking good already from a price standpoint. I'll just take you around it a little bit and then we'll talk about the specs and give it a sound test. So we've obviously got this, to be honest, relatively cheap looking kind of light on the front here. You know, I mean, again, this is half the price, so we are going to be playing with slightly cheaper materials. This plastic up here as well isn't quite the kind of like rubberized plastic that the JBL ones give you, which feels a bit more rugged. But we've got, you know, some battery indicators on the top, button to change the light show up, Bluetooth, volume up, volume down, play and pause, skip, all of the other stuff, and a power button. Obviously very simple. It does come with a handle to attach to, like a strap to attach to these. Which is quite nice as well, included in the box. On the side, we've got these very bright, big passive radiators. They're really nice. I always like a proper boom box with some passive radiators sticking out the side. On the back, we've got an aux in, which is really nice. I like that. USB out for charging, USB-C out for charging as well, and just a standard kind of DC in for charging the actual speaker. It does come with an actual kind of power bank, power brick, effectively, so it's not as easy to charge as the Skullcandy Stomp, which is just USB-C. So yeah, that can be slightly more annoying, but yeah, spec wise, it's IPX5 waterproof. So yeah, not quite the IPX7 for the Skullcandy Stomp. So this is slightly less water resistant, but realistically for day to day, it will still be fine with a bit of dust, some rain. You know, you don't want to throw it in the pool, but it's fine for pretty much everyone's uses, I would say. Got another just kind of standard 12 hours of playtime, 50% volume. That is such a standard number these days. I don't even know why I bother saying it. Pretty much every speaker just quotes 12 hours, which is fine. You know, no one ever really needs too much more than that. And if you do, you're going to bring the charger. So yeah, this does have multi-link and TWS features as well for connecting to other Skullcandy speakers, whether that be in the terrain range or the Stomp, but also pairing and having stereo sound, which is quite nice. Yeah, we've spoken about that LED bar on the top, and this is a Bluetooth 5.3, which is, I believe, still the newest version of Bluetooth, which makes sense as these are very new speakers. So yeah, you'll get 120 odd feet of range or whatever it is, maybe slightly more. And you'll be able to kind of walk up and down stairs, go through walls, and it shouldn't really make too much difference, which is nice. I remember a couple of years ago, Bluetooth speakers weren't quite as good. And yeah, kind of going upstairs in your house with your phone on you meant that the speaker started kind of bugging out. So it's nice that that doesn't happen anymore, and you won't experience that on this. We have a 6.5-inch woofer and a 2.25-inch driver, which is similar to the Skullcandy Stomp, but the woofer is actually 1 inch bigger. So we should be getting some stronger bass here. I'll kind of speak about that a bit later, obviously, after the sound test. This thing weighs 12 pounds, so £2 heavier than the Stomp, but, you know, not excessive, kind of similar to the JBL offerings, similar to what you'd expect for this. So I'm going to give us a sound test, everything by Diamondize at 80% volume, and we'll speak about the sound afterwards.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, yeah, I'm aware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stay, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting.
Okay, so yeah, that's the sound test over. You can see I was just going through the light settings on there as well. I meant to say that beforehand, but yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of what that light bar on there can do. To be honest, quite a lot of the settings look a bit cheap, a little bit tacky. I'm not that impressed with it. A couple of them are all right, but there's a couple of them that are just kind of like literally just like basically pulsing one color, like with no effect to the music at all. It just looks that I can't stand that kind of stuff. It looks really cheap, but some of them are really good. So yeah, I'd rather have it there than not. It's just, it adds a bit of personality, doesn't it? So it's fine. Sound test itself, this is similar to the Stomp in that the quality and the volume of this really blew me away when I first got it out of the box. For this price, I was kind of thinking that it would just be a bit quieter, a bit more tinny maybe on the bass side, but it's really not. It manages to be really punchy in the right areas and not distort at higher volumes either. So overall, really, really good sound. It says it's got a 1 inch bigger woofer, actually 1.25 inch bigger woofer than the Skullcandy Stomp, but I don't hear that personally. I feel like the Stomp it sounds to me like it has stronger bass, which is really weird. I've been kind of struggling to get my head around that. I imagine it's due to the fact, just kind of due to where the drivers are placed and where the passive radiators are. Obviously in the barrel, they're kind of coming out the side, whereas in the Stomp, they're more kind of downward firing. So they tend to vibrate the surface it's sitting on a bit more. If you want a bit more detail, obviously there's a separate video on the Skullcandy Stomp which might be useful to kind of compare these two. But yeah, so I feel like although the woofer's actually bigger, it doesn't sound like it is. But either way, it's still very, very strong bass, really loud volume, crisp, clear, everything you look for in a speaker really. And I'd have a really hard time recommending the JBL Boombox 3 or the Sony alternatives over this because of the fact that this is half the price. Skullcandy is still a respectable brand. It's still got decent build materials. It doesn't look too cheap or too bad or too weird. It's got character, so I think this is a really strong lineup from Skullcandy here with the Stomp and the Barrel. Their terrain speakers were already really good, value for money, and just good speakers anyway, and these are just building on that even more. I said at the time when the terrain speakers came out that I was looking forward to a kind of party box speaker from them, and they've really delivered here. So yeah, really happy about both of these. If I had the space and money to keep these, they would be 100% in my collection. Really, really good. So yeah, if you've got any questions, anything you want me to compare them to, anything you disagree with me on, throw it down in the comments and I'll get back to all of you.